This next part is going to scare some of you, and I apologize, but it's just how I think. Alzheimer's disease is expected to quadruple in the next 35 years. There is no cure for it on the horizon. And look at that last number. If you are fortunate enough to live until you're 85, 50% of you will have a brain ravaged by disease. That horrifies me. That's like 25 years from now for me, or my dad's 85, and that's crazy. And the crazier thing, it starts in your brain decades before you have any symptoms. So, at Amen Clinics, we do a study called Brain SPECT imaging. SPECT looks at blood flow and activity. It looks at how your brain works. This healthy on the left, full, even, symmetrical activity. A 59-year-old woman with Alzheimer's disease on the right. She likely had brain changes, toxic brain changes, noxious brain changes in her 20s. So, if you knew a train was going to hit you, would you get out of the way? So this was in USA Today earlier this year, where there are two women on an 80-foot high railroad bridge, and the train is coming for them and they can't get off. Now ultimately they didn't die, they laid down flat and the train went over them. But you have to ask yourself, why are they on this railroad bridge and there's no way out? And so many of your patients, so many of you are on the railroad bridge and you don't know it because no one's looking at your brain. Isn't that interesting? I mean, we screen many other organs, but never the brain. When I turned 50, my doctor wanted me to have a colonoscopy. I asked him why I didn't want to look at my brain. Wasn't the other end of my body just as important? A lot of people don't know this, that depression is actually the most expensive illness worldwide. It is one of the greatest killers of our time. Affects 50 million Americans at some point in their life. It has increased 400% since 1987. 23% of women between the ages of 20 and 60 are taking antidepressant medication, and you have to ask yourself, why would that be? Except birth control pills drop serotonin levels. Depression doubles the risk of Alzheimer's disease in women and more than quadruples the risk in men. And you know, obesity is a serious national crisis with 2/3 of us overweight, 1/3 of us are obese. It increases inflammation, which in Latin means fire in your body. It's responsible or risk factor for 30 medical illnesses, including depression and dementia. And this is the horrifying part for me, because I come from a family of fat people. I have a brother that's 150 pounds overweight, a grandfather that had his first heart attack at 49, large part because he was overweight. There are 200 studies now, I published 2 of them, that say as your weight goes up, the actual physical size and function of your brain goes down, which should scare the fat off anyone. It's the biggest brain drain in the history of the United States. It's a national security crisis. 70% of the people who try to sign up for the military are rejected because of health reasons.